Hey everybody, welcome to road.cc, and today I'm here to talk to you about this. This is Canyon's new e-road bike, their first e-road bike. It's called the Endurace On AL, and as you might expect from the name, it's based on their very popular endurance road bike geometry. Motor stuck in there too, and let's see what they say about it. They say it'll break down barriers and make road cycling accessible for all, giving everyone the power they need to enjoy taking on demanding terrain and stay in the saddle for longer, while allowing the less experienced to keep up with faster fellow cyclists. So there you go, if you've ever struggled on your club run or with your mates, this is apparently what you need. It's the democratisation of cycling. So let's dive into this bike and have a look what you're getting for your £2,799. Okay, so the first thing to note is that Canyon is very much pitching this at the road end of e-road. So a lot of e-road bikes, we've tested bikes like the Bianchi Impulso, that came in a gravel build, and it also came in a road build, and the same is true of things like the Specialized Turbo Creo SL, bikes like that. But this is very much a road build, slightly beefed up because of the motor and the extra weight in the frame. So we've got a 32mm tyre here. It's a Schwalbe E1 tyre, so specifically designed for e-bikes. We've got a gravel group set, so we've got a Shimano GRX 1x11 group set. Canyon has opted to go with a 1x on this bike with a big cassette at the back. We've got an 11-42 cassette, 48 tooth chainring, so plenty of gear options. You can actually fit a double chainring to this motor, and other bikes that we've tested do have that, but they've gone for a 1x system. It's a bit simpler. We've got hydraulic disc brakes, front and rear, obviously, and Canyon has opted for a 160mm rotor, front and rear. Quite often on a bike like this, you'd get a 140 at the back, but they've beefed it up a little bit just to give you that extra stopping power for the extra weight. And talking of extra weight, you might be wondering, well, how much does it weigh? Well, Canyon claims that this bike in a medium weighs in at 15.2 kilos, and we've got a medium and we've weighed it, and it weighs in at 15.1. So that's pretty good for a mid-motor bike in this price range. I mean, if you look at something like the Boardman ADV 8.9e, which is a similar kind of bike, has the same motor system, has a 1x SRAM group set, that's about a kilo heavier for about the same amount of money. I mean, you can get a lighter e-road bike than this with this motor system. Something like the Pinarello Nitro, for example, is about a kilo lighter, just around 14 kilos. But you know, you're looking at £6 for one of those. So for the money, it's a really good weight. Now you might be wondering what motor system we're running here, and Canyon, who are a German company, have opted for a German motor system. This is Fitzuer's motor system. It's called the Ovation. It's not new, it's been around for, well, we first saw it at the Eurobike show in 2016, I think, and then we first rode it the next year in 2017. So it's been around a while. It's a mid-motor system, so the power is applied directly to the cranks down here, and the motor and the battery are situated in the down tube. Now, it used to have a little remote control that sat on the bars, but recently Fitzuer have moved to this sort of touch control down here that's on the down tube. Which may or may not be better. We haven't tried it yet. One of the USPs of the Fitzuer system is that you can actually drop the motor out. So if you pull this little clicky thing here, we can drop that motor out. That is the motor and it's the battery. So they're both contained in this one unit. So if you wanted to go for a ride without the motor and the battery, that drops about 3.5 kilos out of the bike. So suddenly, you know, it feels not that different to a normal endurance road bike. And if you wanted to, you could keep the motor at home and go for a ride under your own steam. I don't think anyone does, but it's a possibility. And that also means if you wanted to, you could carry a spare battery around. The battery slides into the top here, and you can just pull it out, stick another one in. So there we go, that is the Fitzuer motor system. So this is the first production bike to come with the new firmware update for the Ovation motor. That's called Black Pepper, and this is what Fitzuer says about it. The Ovation drive system's motor control was completely overhauled from the ground up. The result is a marked improvement in efficiency, making it possible to get even more performance from the compact unit. So it's the same unit, same physical unit, but they've done some work with the algorithms and the motor firmware to get a better response from it. They say one of the most clearly noticeable performance enhancements is the delivery of power over a broad cadence range. The Ovation drive system now provides more efficient assistance at a constant motor output over a cadence range of 50 to 120 revolutions per minute. So that should cover everything from standing up on the pedals and grunting up a really steep climb to kind of spinning down the other side as fast as you can go on your 4811 or whatever you've got on this bike. And then they also say riders can enjoy an even more authentic feel. In extensive biomechanical analyses, we use complex algorithms and methods to develop riding dynamics that perfectly adapt to the rider's individual pedaling style to guarantee the ideal level of assistance in every riding scenario. So it's better then, that's what that means. I've used this motor system, I mean, I first rode it in 2017. I've probably used it in about 10 bikes since then over the years. And it's good, it's a good motor system. It has quite a natural feel. It's not the most powerful, but then it's not the heaviest either. So it's a good kind of mix of power and weight. So, you know, in a bike like this where the total bike weight is 15 kilos, you know, you can go out for a ride on this motor system and you can get, you know, 100 kilometers out of the bike. You're not using it all the time. The whole bike with the motor system in doesn't weigh much more than like a heavy touring bike, so it's perfectly capable of being pushed around just with leg power alone. And then when you need the motor, or when you want the motor to kick in, you can just have it set to come in and help you up those hills. So it's a good system. It'll be interesting to see what difference this new firmware update has made, whether we'll be able to notice it in day-to-day riding or not, but we'll certainly be taking it out and giving it a go. Now, in terms of finishing kit, you're getting mostly Canyon's own brand stuff. So they've got their alloy cockpit here, so alloy handlebar and stem, which is all very good stuff. The budget unfortunately doesn't stretch to Canyon's VCLS seat post, which gives you a bit of extra give at the back. That's a shame, but you know, we're working to a budget here, and you do actually get a nice carbon seat post here. It's not just an alloy one. Decent saddle. The wheels are ordinary rather than great. They're Alex rims on unbranded hubs. They're perfectly serviceable. They'll probably be a bit heavy. One of the good things about having a bike with a mid-motor system is that it's very easy to swap the wheels out at a later point. So you haven't got a hub motor here that you have to build into a new rim. You can just pull the wheels out, stick something lighter in if you want to. Other than that, it's all pretty good stuff. The rotors are a little bit ordinary, but you know, for £2,799, this represents really good spec. I mean, it's comparable to the Boardman, which we consider to be a bike that was really good value. Probably in terms of the actual spec, it's a little bit higher spec than the Boardman was. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares in terms of its ride. We will be going out and getting some miles on this in isolation around our local area, like we're allowed to these days, and we will report back to you on how we get on. But thanks for watching this video. If you've got any questions about this bike or anything about e-bikes in particular, just ask them in the comments below. We'll get them answered for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. See more of this stuff on road.cc. Brilliant, thanks for watching.